Back with Brian and JJ Radio. Bobby's not here. It's always a pleasure when he's not here. We have Miss Ginger Walker. She's with p16plus. She has been a sustaining member of the Strive Together network of collective impact organizations. I want to say thank you for hanging out with us today.
Thanks for having me on.
Here in San Antonio, I heard you're an Indiana girl.
Yes, I've been here about 7 years in a row so far, but I
like the row.
Yeah, 7 years in a row. I'm not counting the years before, but moved away briefly, but got back to San Antonio as soon as I could.
Glad to have you back, girl. All right, so P16plus. Tell us about who you are, who you're servicing, and what you're doing in our community.
So our big mission is to ensure all young people in Bayard County are ready for the future. It's a big mission, so we have to have a very big approach. We bring together leaders and decision makers and the community across all of the different sectors that face youth and influence their outcomes. So I've been on at P16 for about 3.5 years and had the luxury of seeing us evolve in our approach. And what we're really focused on now is understanding that we can't impact youth outcomes and their education success without partnering with adjacent sectors that also influence youth. For example, housing, health, criminal justice, all of those things in addition to schools make a difference in youth's lives. Yeah,
because it could really inhibit what happens to them if those other things aren't going their way.
Right.
And so let's talk about those sectors. You mentioned health. Who are you partnering with, or how are you helping them in that regard?
So one of the things that we've been looking at over a long period of time is chronic absenteeism. So students are absent from school, and chronically absent students miss more than 10% of school. And
if I got to 90% of my classes, I would have been way good.
You just diagnosed what happened with me in high school, so go for it.
Yeah, so it makes a big difference. Yeah. It can lead to lower likelihood of graduating from high school,
for sure.
Lower likelihood of reading on grade level, and all of the things that come with that. So we know that chronic absenteeism doesn't happen in a vacuum. Health factors are certainly related. One of the things that we identify through student surveys and understanding the reasons behind chronic absenteeism is that health, asthma, doctor's appointments are a big reason for students not being able to come to school. And one of the examples of kind of a cross-sector partnership around chronic absenteeism, we are supporting the Housing Authority and the San Antonio Independent School District on a task force that they've put together just to specifically address chronic absenteeism. And because that's such a big issue, and the school knows that they can't tackle it alone, the Housing Authority knows they can't tackle it alone, and through the data support that P16 provided to that partnership, they were able to uncover one of the biggest underlying issues behind chronic absenteeism, at least for the students in the Housing Authority, was mobility. That they were moving between school districts and between campuses, and those students were much more likely to be chronically absent.
For sure.
So bringing those groups together around data to identify solutions has been really powerful there.
So you guys are figuring out the problem and then kind of quarterbacking from different industries or sectors, as you called it.
Right, building those bridges across those sectors.
So talk about criminal justice a little bit and how you guys are helping in that regard.
Yeah, so one of the networks that we work with is the My Brother's Keeper Restorative Justice Working Group. And so the network overall is focused on improving outcomes for men and boys of color in our community and closing those disparity gaps that they see. We ran the numbers from across goal areas from cradle to career and really are seeing these wide disparities for men and boys of color. And so one of the strategies that they've come up with in a really cross-sector way is to focus on restorative justice. And so the working group includes folks from SAPD, from the municipal courts, from the school districts, all different school districts looking to implement restorative justice practices in their schools.
I love it. So this data, it's collected and it's just distributed amongst these different sectors, or Is it open? Is it open records?
Yes, a lot of our data can be found on the website. So if you go to www.p16plus.org and look at the data pages, we annually share community level data on Bexar County's cradle to career youth and student outcomes. And so folks can access data on their community there, and we make sure to disaggregate everything so people can see, are all students being successful in our community?
For sure. And quick takeaway while we still have you, girl. How can San Antonians like Brian and I get involved and help? So
making sure to, if you have an aligned interest in ensuring all youth are ready for the future, we look for institutional partners who serve youth to partner with us on that. But in general, keeping yourself informed on the data and what are the biggest issues facing youth in our community and looking for ways to support.
Yeah, because numbers don't lie. So as long as you look at the numbers, you can figure out how you can pitch in a little bit. Well, great. For more information about this incredible organization, go to p16plus. That's p16plus.org. And we'll be right back with Bobby and JJ Radio.